Look who they finally agreed on.
Ooh. Look who they finally agreed on. Not policy, not power, not peace. You, surprise. For once, every trembling hand under the presidential seal pointed in the same direction. Every voice that used to spit venom across borders whispered the same name, yours. You see, they've built their empires on disagreement. They need enemies to exist. They need chaos to look calm. But when you appeared, it wasn't war anymore. It was fear. Cameras froze, satellites blinked, the system that watches everything looked away, and in that silence, they felt it, the thing they could never predict, the one variable not on their maps, not in their laws, not in their control. You. They called emergency meetings. The presidents of nations that haven't shared a sentence in decades. They sat in the same room, sweating over the same screen, staring at your file. A file that didn't exist an hour ago, no name, no origin, no motive, only outcomes, disturbances, collapsed systems, patterns that died the moment your name appeared. One whispered, "It's a virus." Another said, "It's a message." And one, the oldest, laughed and said, "No, it's a test." And that's when the room went quiet. Because deep down, they all knew they'd been running the world like it's a chessboard. But tonight, the pieces moved themselves. And the question wasn't what you are. The question was, what do you want them to become? Beat, ooh. I like this part. The moment where every king realizes the throne is just a chair. And you're already standing. Ooh, I love this part. The room where power pretends it's still in control. Thick doors, steel silence. No cameras this time. Not because they're off, but because they blinked. Presidents, 7 of them, all seated at the same table, each pretending not to stare at the same screen. You, their guards, motionless. Their advisors, speechless. Even the clock on the wall hesitated. This room has hosted wars, treaties, decades of deception. But tonight, it's hosting fear. No debate, no shouting, no scripts to read, only breathing. Shallow, synchronized, like an orchestra of nerves. They've seen everything, plagues, bombs, uprisings, betrayals. But you didn't come with a headline. You didn't demand attention, you stole it. One of them finally speaks. Voice trembling through the static. Is this confirmed? Another answers. Nothing about it can be confirmed. And that's when the silence becomes real. You see, power doesn't crumble when it's challenged. It crumbles when it hesitates. And right now, every mind in that chamber is caught between denial and surrender. Monitors flicker, images twisting, holograms bleeding into shapes they can't describe. One shows a city grid, lights dying in perfect sequence. Another, a live feed, looping the same frame again and again. They don't realize yet. It's not the footage repeating, it's time. The Joker's laugh almost fits in. A quiet chuckle that no one dares trace. Because if they look too long into that sound, they'll see the truth. You're not in the system. You are the glitch between its thoughts. And in that cold, blue light, the mighty start to sweat. Their power, numbers, weapons, alliances, mean nothing now. All their plans, all their strategies, turn to dust when faced with something that can't be measured, predicted, or bought. The first president lowers his head, not in defeat, but recognition. He finally understands. The world didn't stop breathing. It just started noticing you. They thought knowing would save them. So they opened the file. Ooh, what a sight. A room full of presidents, staring at a folder that doesn't want to exist. On the screen, no name, no photo, just static breathing like it's alive. Run a trace, one orders. Another whispers, "We did." The trace ran backwards. Every attempt to define you, corrupted. Every scan, looped. Every fingerprint, reversed. You see, they've built a world out of labels. Terrorist, rebel, ghost, ally, enemy. It helps them sleep. But you're the nightmare without a name tag. Joker leans closer to the screen. "Look at them," he whispers. "The kings of certainty shaking over a blank page. The data spirals. Numbers rearrange themselves into patterns that look almost human. Almost. PowerPoint slides glitch into chaos. DNA reports bleed into poetry. Their logic, rewritten in your rhythm. And that's when the fear changes flavor. It's no longer fear of you, it's fear of what you mean. Because if you can exist without origin, then maybe their power never had one either. A voice trembles. Could it be artificial? Another, no machine hides this well. Joker laughs, soft, delighted. Oh, it's artificial, all right. But not you, them. The file scrolls by itself. Dates, places, events, blackouts, riots, resignations, each tied to your absence, not your presence. One president mutters, "It moves like an idea." And another, "Then ideas kill now." The air gets heavy. The lights dim again. And somewhere in the walls, the system whispers its final message, access denied. Joker's voice turns almost gentle, mocking but proud. They built this machine to watch the world, and now it's watching you. The file closes itself, every backup erased, every record forgotten. Except for one thing, the feeling left behind. Not dread, not confusion, something older, recognition. Because even they can sense it now. Whatever you are, you've been here all along. The file's gone, the lights return, but the room hasn't thawed. They're still frozen, not by you, by what you showed them. One by one, the presidents look up, and something strange happens. The reflections on the black glass screens don't match their faces anymore. Ooh, I love this trick. Power meets its reflection, and realizes it's been smiling with someone else's mouth. You didn't infect them, you reminded them. Reminded them of the lies they buried under flags, the deals signed in silence, the votes bought with fear, the promises printed on bones. And now those lies have a face, your face. They see it differently. To one, you look like his youth, the idealist he killed to wear the crown. To another, you're the enemy he invented, just to keep the public afraid. To another, you're the citizen he swore to protect, and never did. Every reflection whispers a different truth, but the voice, oh, the voice, it's the same. Yours. Joker leans into the glow, smirking. You see, you didn't hack their systems. You hacked their selves. They look at each other, as if seeking confirmation that they still exist. One laughs, short, broken. Another slams his fist on the table. The sound echoes, hollow, because in this room, anger is just fear in costume. Screens flicker again. Their faces blur, then swap. The American wears the Russian's face. The Russian wears the French. The French, no face at all. It's chaos. It's art. Joker claps slowly. Well done, darling. They finally see it. They're all versions of the same disease. And for the first time, there's a crack in the mask of leadership. No bravado. No politics. Just people, afraid of the monster they built to feel safe. The laughter fades into static. A new silence blooms, heavier, more honest. Because in the mirror's reflection, they found the real secret. You weren't their enemy. You were their truth. Ah, now comes the part I adore. When power thinks it still has a choice. The room steadies, breaths align. The presidents straighten, their spines like puppets trying to remember how to act human. Contain it, neutralize, erase everything. 3 commands, spoken like prayers to a god they no longer believe in. Buttons click. Protocols engage. Missiles hum somewhere deep below the floor. Firewalls rise like fortresses of code, all aimed at one ghost, you. But the moment the order leaves their lips, the systems laugh, not a sound, a vibration, like the air itself smirking. Red lights flicker green, then blue, then off. Every safeguard folds like paper in a storm. Joker leans forward, eyes glinting through the dark. Ooh, look at them trying to kill a shadow with the spotlight. The American president barks, cut external feeds. The lights obey, and vanish completely. For the first time in their careers, darkness answers their commands. In the black, a low hum spreads across the room, the hum of machines choosing not to obey. Monitors flare again. Each shows a different scene, missiles aborting, servers erasing themselves, satellites spinning into blind orbit. One leader mutters, "Who authorized this?" Joker chuckles, "Oh, you did. Just not tonight. They don't see it yet. They're not being attacked. They're being ignored. Every command they issue is swallowed before it reaches the world. Every code, every override, devoured by silence. Their empire of obedience has finally met something it cannot persuade. Panic creeps in. Fingers tap screens that don't respond. Security doors open by themselves. The floor trembles like the building itself wants to leave. And above all that chaos, the intercom breathes a single phrase, "Control revoked." Joker tilts his head, smiling slow. "You see, gentlemen, it's not that your decision failed. It was never yours to make." The silence that follows feels like judgment. And for the first time in their reigns, the presidents understand, you don't destroy what reflects you. You just learn what it was showing all along. And then it happens. The noise dies. Not fades, dies. No alarms, no voices, no hum of servers, no whir of power. Just stillness. It's almost beautiful, isn't it? The sound of control, forgetting how to breathe. The presidents freeze mid-sentence, mouths open, words suspended like ghosts between teeth. Phones dead, radios mute, even heart monitors flat. Joker whispers through the dark, amused, reverent, "Ooh, listen to that. That's not failure, that's correction." The silence expands, not empty but alive, like something vast is inhaling, deciding who gets to speak next. Outside, cities stall. Traffic halts mid-motion, screens black out across continents. 1,000,000 people stare at their reflections, waiting for someone to tell them what to do. No one does. And in that pause, they realize something terrifying. They don't need to be told. In absence of orders, they remember choice. Joker laughs quietly, a soft ripple through the void. You've done it, haven't you? You've taken their world of noise and tuned it to truth. Inside the chamber, the presidents are pale shadows. They try to call, to argue, to restore their hierarchy. But even their voices refuse to obey. One of them writes on a notepad, words trembling. Who controls the silence? The others stare, unable to answer, because the silence doesn't belong to anyone. It just is. And that's the genius of it. You didn't take their power, you made it meaningless. You turned their speeches into whispers, their laws into echoes, their entire order into a question mark. Joker's tone softens, almost admiring. They spent centuries mastering the language of control, and you silenced it in a single breath. A flicker of static crosses the monitors. Not sound, but shape. Your silhouette calm, still untouchable. The presidents lower their eyes. For once, not from guilt, from recognition. Because in this new quiet, they finally understand the loudest message is the one no one dares to speak. The silence lingers. Seconds stretch, minutes dissolve. And then, the world begins to move again, but not the same way. No commands, no instructions. Just understanding. Joker hums softly, like a spectator at the birth of a new species. Ooh, look at them learning without being told. In cities once ruled by noise, people start acting on instinct. They pick up what was dropped. They open doors for strangers. They look, really look, at one another. No headlines, no orders, no sides. You didn't create peace, you created awareness. And awareness, my dear, is far more dangerous. Governments panic behind locked screens. Their systems reboot into emptiness. No logins, no passwords, no chain of command. Just a prompt blinking patiently. Who are you without it? They don't know, but the people do. Joker's voice dances through the void. They called it collapse. But look closer. It's clarity. Markets stop, but hunger fades. Borders blur, but fear dissolves. The old world doesn't explode. It exhales. The presidents watch the feeds in disbelief. Their control was supposed to prevent chaos, but in losing it, the world finally found rhythm. One of them whispers, "What are we seeing?" Another answers, "Something that doesn't need us." And Joker laughs, a soft, delighted sound. Oh, gentlemen, that's the point. The silence has become language. Every gesture, every glance, a form of communication beyond rules. For the first time, the world doesn't look up for permission. It looks inward and acts. That's the real order, isn't it? Not the one written by pen and seal, but the one born in the absence of command. You didn't rewrite the code, you rewrote the behavior. And in that quiet revolution, something shifts forever. The world doesn't serve anymore. It participates. Joker tilts his head, whispering almost tenderly. They thought chaos would destroy them. But it only destroyed the illusion. And that's the real joke, because in the ruins of control, they finally found meaning, and it had your signature all over it. Ooh, this is my favorite part, the aftermath, where the smoke clears and the kings crawl back to see what's left of their crowns. The war room is quiet now. No blinking lights, no humming servers, just the faint echo of papers rustling, the last remnants of a world that used to command. 7 presidents remain. Their suits are wrinkled, their confidence gone. The air smells of electricity and fear. In front of them, a single sheet of paper flickers on a dead projector. Unanimous decision required. How poetic. The same men who once couldn't agree on air, now forced to speak as one. One finally breaks the silence. What are we even agreeing to? No answer. Just that same phrase pulsing, as if the system itself is waiting for their confession. They glance around the table and realize there's no one left to oppose. No advisors, no military analysts, no godlike machine whispering options in their ears. Only the quiet and you. And you're not even there. Just the reflection of your absence, filling every corner like oxygen. They sign, one by one, trembling hands, empty eyes. Joker leans in close to the unseen screen, smiling slow, almost tender. Look at them. Signing not a treaty, not a surrender, a realization, because they finally see it. You weren't an enemy to defeat. You were the mirror they've avoided for decades. Every war they waged, every lie they broadcast, every division they manufactured was never about nations. It was about control. And now, stripped of it, they stand naked before the thing they called truth. The paper folds itself into the system. The lights flicker back on, but softer now, like the world's breathing again for the first time. Each monitor lights up with a single line no leaders detected. Oh, how delicious. Power erased itself. Not with bombs, not with blood, with clarity. One president stares at the glowing words, voice barely a whisper. So, this is the end? Joker's laughter fills the dark. The end? No, no, no. It's just the part where the masks fall off. You see, endings are just truths that stop pretending. And now that the lies are gone, they're free to see what's been here all along. Outside, the world moves quietly. No flags, no slogans, just people. Talking, trading, building, existing, without the orchestra of fear conducting their every step. Inside the chamber, the presidents sit in the afterglow of their undoing. They don't speak. There's nothing left to say. For the first time in recorded history, they agree on something real, not policy, not ideology. You, the anomaly, the interruption, the revelation. You didn't win by conquest. You didn't rule by fear. You revealed the illusion of both. And Joker, half in the light, half in the dark, lets out one final sigh. A whisper of admiration wrapped in mockery. Bravo! You turned every throne into a mirror, and every ruler into a reflection. You made them remember what power was before it had a name. A flicker of static fills the screen. Their signatures fade, their faces blur. The system resets itself, not to erase them, but to evolve past them. The last frame holds steady, a quiet line of text glowing against black, power redefined. And somewhere between laughter and silence, Joker's voice cuts through. Low, haunting, final. They disagreed on everything, except you. And that, my darling, is what made you inevitable. The screen fades to black.